We're on. Okay, I want to thank you all for being here for another meeting of the Santa Barbara Real Estate Investor Association. This is kind of a special event today for a couple of reasons. One, Paul Fink, I love this guy. He's really made a big difference in my life. And thank you, Paul, for making it here. And two, because we're really shifting what we're doing here. We're going to start meeting once every other month. And we really don't meet November and December because guess what everybody's thinking about? Shopping. The holidays. It just doesn't work. Nobody shows up. So if we do it every other month, I was thinking the end of February, and then they came back, somebody already paid for it, and they said, well, no, that room's taken, so we had to shift to March. So the next meeting will be March 4th. So we're really looking at about 5 months before we meet again. Withdrawals? For me? So I want to thank you for being here and knowing that it's on video, everything goes up on YouTube. So during that period of time, if you need some information, kind of go back and look at some of those videos. I'm available. Call me up, text me, whatever. I will be there. This is the website, Santa Barbara REIA, long version, short version, all the contact list down here. Okay, we are right about there someplace, okay, right out the door. So if you haven't gone out this door and walked on the patio, it's beautiful. You're going to want to do that eventually. Paul says, yes, I think I'll try that. So everything again we do, we put up on YouTube. We had a lot of speakers that said, Dan, I can't come here, it's too small a venue, not enough people. And I said, yeah, but we don't take any of the sales because I don't want any legal obligations about whatever happens between the speakers and the members, so I'm not going there. So a lot of them go, well, okay, that's better. Plus we video it, put it up on YouTube, and we can drive more business back to you. So we've got some speakers that normally wouldn't show up here. So it's a good thing, you know, being in Santa Barbara. You know Al Lowerly?
Of course.
So he said, Dan, I'll come back and speak. If there's only one people there, I'll be there. Because I'm going to come up with Reggie, and we're going to head off to Hearst Castle. So, you know, there's an example of Santa Barbara helps as a vacation spot and a write-off for your business. YouTube helps. We've got lots of videos up there. And so you need to check that out. And if you're not using Meetup, you probably want to do that because Meetup's free. And people will look at that and they'll see you and go, oh, I'm going to contact this person because they're doing this and this is what they said their services are. So this is a good thing for you to use. You can sign up for the meetings here or you can go to our website, it doesn't matter. But this is something that you should consider. We had to ask the wine. We had a few speakers that drank too much, on a plane flight, didn't have any, you know, a few members that drank, in any case. So we're done with that. I'm going to be covering some of these things here today. We don't have Linda Pliagas here. She just got through with an event in Vegas yesterday. And so I don't think that she could make it. It was just too much to do in that short amount of time. But I'll cover some of these things, free training, NHB LLC, Lease-To-Own, NHB Lease-To-Own, and then Paul's going to go, Dan, what is this bandit signs and business signs? What the heck is that? So this is going to be something new for him, and for some other two people too. And then we're going to have Paul come up here after that from 2 to 4. You know, sometime back Paul was here and he said, Dan, these PowerPoint things is what makes it all work. So if you just do it right, follow it, everything will be wonderful. Well, last month, I had 2 o'clock on there instead of 2:30 for me, and I kept going, why doesn't this feel right? We ended up, at the end of the meeting, being done a half hour early. Paul's absolutely right. If you don't get it right in the beginning, you're going to screw the whole thing up. So it worked, but I was scratching my hand at the end of that last meeting. And Paul is fantastic. I went to one of Paul's events in Vegas about 3 years ago, whatever it was. And it was a 2-day event, and one of the things, you know, that Paul, well, he did this with a lot of people, if you were willing to speak up, you know. If you're not willing to ask questions, say, hey, Paul, help me, you know. My sister was there. He got really zoomed in on my sister's business and really helped her in this meeting solve some issues that she couldn't see. And when I talked to him, one of the things that he said to me was, Dan, you know, it sounds like you got kind of a handle on the direction you're going. What to me looks like is important is that you really focus on automating and delegating, because you already kind of have an idea of what you want to do, where you're going. You just need to automate and delegate. So for the last 3 years, that's kind of what I've been doing. And let me just say also that at the very back of the table, we've got some free stuff. If there's anything back there that you want, just take it with you when you go. Michael said, don't leave your...
Any cell phones or anything like that back there, just, you know, it's the free table. It's just, yeah, right? Materials, take them.
So don't do that. But what I kind of got from working with Paul about automating and delegating was I really needed to take a look at my business and say, okay, you know, sure, I can get virtual assistants, I can get more people to help me out, I can delegate, whatever. But maybe there's a core function of my business that if I looked at it really carefully, I could go, if I just change some things here, my business would automatically be automated and be delegated by removing things that weren't needed. And it took me, you know, a few years to figure that out, along with doing what he really said was automate and delegate. Okay? So as we move on here, this is the Santa Barbara REIA website. Yes, we do have free training. 30 days of free training, okay? If you attend the meeting, anytime you want to call me up 30 minutes after or 30 days after the meeting, it's free. I'd be happy to help you answer questions. But it is any of the programs offered by me, Dan Ringwald. So, you know, and I've had people call up and say, Dan, you know, I went to the meeting, I got 30 days of free training, and I really want to know how long it would take and how many days and how far it is from California to Mars. You know, that's really not part of my program. So if you're going to call up and ask things that are totally unrelated to my programs, I don't do that. Okay? But if you want to work with me in my programs, I'd be happy to train you, happy to teach you, happy to have you partner with me, happy to include you and help move you forward. Okay? That is free. Paid training. Some people that might be watching the videos go, well, I can't attend the meeting because I live in Oklahoma, wherever. Well, if you take a look at what it costs to get trained from me, you'll realize it's actually less expensive to stay in Oklahoma and just pay through the website, do what you need to do. Love to have you come out here, but it'd be a lot less expensive for you not to. I mean, my whole thing when I work with anybody is, don't spend money. Don't spend money. If you can spend money and spend somebody else's money and give them a good return so they come back for more, that's a good thing. But we're going to look to help you not spend money. Okay? Guess, if you're a first timer and you come here, you're in free. If you say, well, Dan, I want to come here free forever, we'll just bring one guest. And that's never been here. The guest gets in free and you get in free. Don't bring 5 guests. There's no extra credit for 5. Save them for another month, another time, another meeting. Okay, you can bring them if you want to. I'm just saying, bring a guest, you get it free. A guest gets it free.
Dan, may I ask a question?
Yes.
Are you going to tell us what exactly the free training is going to be in?
Yes. All the stuff that I cover. In fact, if you go to any one of my websites and you go to the contact page and you see the different websites that I have there, Personal Power Project, whatever, those are the things that we'll work on. Could be investing income, properties out away from California. Could be lease-to-own here in California. Those are the things that, and I'll tell you, you know, you want to work with me? No problem. If you say, Dan, I just really want to do my own business, my own thing, and I want you to give me a bunch of time, and I never want to see you again, I'm just not going to be there. So it's not going to happen. Okay? Santa Barbara Computing, that's one of the businesses that we have. And we do you know, some social media marketing. We do web design. Michael, what is the web stuff that you're working on right now? Is it Solvang?
Yeah, I do a website for these folks in Solvang that run an high-end antique store, and I help them get the stuff listed and look professional and have the shots so people could, you know, inquire about the items.
Okay, and the website that they have right now, they didn't have before you started working with them?
No.
So you found...
I found a nice platform, and then we tweaked it a whole bunch and made it look really nice and function the way that they want it.
Okay.
But I didn't just build it like completely from the ground up.
Which
but
nobody does now.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Because it would be way too expensive programming-wise to do that. So you find templates and you put that together. And Jeremy's here. Thank you for making it. And so, also, isn't there some social media stuff that you can help people with?
Yeah, whether you want to get connected more to potential clients, or you want to be out there more for promoting purposes and stuff through like Facebook or Twitter or any kind of picture things, Instagram, any kind of stuff like that where you're just trying to reach a broader audience, I can help show you some ways to get yourself boosted like that. Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you. So you can see, Michael is a good resource here. I spent many years doing computer work for the university and for myself and other things, but I'm not spending as much time there. And in fact, even my website, when people find it, they come back and they say, hey, we want this and we want that. I go, great, here's Michael. And he gets them going for a really good price. And, you know, you have your own LLC, right?
Yeah, and I do the business work through that, yeah.
Okay, business work through your LLC. You've got a couple of properties paid for, free and clear. Okay, so there's somebody here with experience too that you can rely on for some of this stuff. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And that would be through this. So you're asking, well, you know, this is an example of some of the different things that we have to offer. Okay, Personal Power Project. That's another website and another interest of mine that has to do with going green. Okay, and we've talked a lot about electric cars, wind, all kinds of things. And we talked about Tesla. And Paul, you know Reggie Brooks. He came here and listened to some of this stuff. And we went up to a little place to eat here in Santa Barbara, Cold Spring Tavern. And he was telling me, well, I got to get rid of my car. It's getting too old for maintenance. I said, well, why don't you get a car that doesn't require any maintenance? And he says, yeah, like, where am I going to find that? And I said, a Tesla. And he goes, a Tesla? What's that?
No.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, this was a few years back.
Oh, okay.
Not yesterday. So I said, okay, just go try a test drive and tell me what you think. And he calls me up a month or two later and he goes, Dan, I don't believe it. You did it to me. You made me a Tesla man.
Good.
He went out and bought one right there off the show floor. He loves that car. Just loves it. So I tried to get Tesla to come in here and talk to us about their cars. And they said, well, you know, it's kind of, we don't really do that kind of stuff. I don't know. And I said, hey, we're going to video. We're going to put it up on YouTube, drive more business back to you. And then they freaked out and said, oh, no, we definitely can't do that. And I thought, wow, really? It's that scary to work for Elon Musk? It's just, no, we can't do that. And I said, okay. So I'm going to bring somebody who owned one in here, and they can talk to us. And I had somebody from Solar City, who did work for Solar City, come in and talk in that meeting. And we had Sanjeev Bala, who's one of our members, and he stood here talking to us about his Tesla, and everybody had a chance to ask him questions. And finally I got to ask mine, and I said, is it autonomous? Will it drive itself? And he goes, well, when I bought it, no. But I woke up one morning, and I got in my car, and this little thing popped up on the screen and said, while you were asleep, we downloaded, and your car is now autonomous. They can drive all by itself. And he's like, that's scary. Nobody's been in my car, but it all happened. And so my question to him was, Sanjeev, where has it driven you? He goes, oh, I can go from Santa Barbara to Vegas, no problem, all by itself. And I said, how long did it take you to become comfortable to let that car drive itself? For me, in my mind, a couple of weeks, a couple of months, whatever. Anybody want to guess how long it took him?
Second.
5 minutes, he said. 5 minutes. And everybody's like, 5 minutes, really? Yeah. So what does that really mean if people can accept that? Victor's here, yay!
It's up,
Good to see you, Victor.
We see too.
Good, thank you for making it.
Good, how you doing?
But if we can transition that quickly in 5 minutes, and we all can, don't want to take me 2 months, who knows, personally. You know? But if we can transition that fast, we probably will. You know? So things are going to be changing in that arena. And one of the things that I'm very interested in now that I got rid of my all-electric Nissan Leaf, and now we've got a Chevy Volt, so we can have that range extension if we need it, which 90% of the time we don't. We've had it for a year. Filled up the gas tank maybe twice. Everything else is around town, okay? We have solar panels on our house, but I really didn't want any wind, and about 3 or 4 years ago I contacted the Board of Architectural Review or whoever here in Santa Barbara and said I want to get a wind generator, and they laughed and said, this is not happening. And I said, why? And they said, solar is mandated by the government. We cannot say no. We have to say yes. Wind is not mandated by the federal government. And we're going to say no until it is. Okay, that sounds pretty progressive. So I talked to a gentleman in Texas 2 days ago who has a really fabulous model of wind turbine that I've been looking for. And I said, yeah, I'd really like to work with you. I'd like to promote it. I'd like to get it in my property. I said, well, we've got this problem in Santa Barbara. And he goes, well, guess what? 2017 wind mandate is coming online by the federal government. So now we can start seeing some changes there, which is going to be wonderful. Okay? So yeah, I'm pretty passionate about green technology and all that. So we're here to help you with that too, if you're interested. You know, probably the best thing I could do is have you work in and around it a little bit with me, make a contact with somebody and get a maybe a full-time job in that career, if that's what you want. Okay, so investing. This is our business, National Home Buyers LLC. Okay, this is investment income. Now there's a difference tax-wise when you're doing real estate, and one is earned income and one is investment income. Okay? And earned income can be anything. It doesn't have to be real estate. It can be any way that you earn income is considered earned income. This, we're actually buying the properties, joint venture, for 1 or 2 years max, and we really want to try to do it 1 year, not 2 years, and definitely not 3 or 5. And it's lease to own only. Now what's going to happen by the time I get through here is you're going to probably feel like, wow, that's all Dan does anymore, is lease to own. What's the deal? I don't want anything to do with lease to own. I didn't either. I've done lease to own in the past 10 years ago, and just thought, so what? What's the big deal, you know? I'm going to tell you what it is. Okay? We really have two businesses. The Santa Barbara REIA really isn't a business for us. We don't make money. There are real estate clubs that never do real estate. They just want you to sign up for all the things they got in the club, and that's where they make the money. Okay? That's not what we do here. It's not even a business. It's like our social gathering, a place to meet and network and all that. This is where we make the money. NHB LLC is investment income because we buy it. And if we generate income from something we own, it's considered by our tax accountants as investment income. NHBIG is something we did a little more recently, out of the meetings with Paul Fink, and trying to figure out where we're going to go with our life and what we're going to do. And that really started off to be wholesaling only until I finally woke up one day and I had some people come in here and talk about lease to own, and they educated me, okay? So now what's happening is we're doing lease to own on these investment properties that are low end, and when I say low end, I'm talking 30,000 to 100,000 purchase. And when we purchase them, that's not the value when we purchase them, because if we don't get a deal, we're not going to purchase them. Especially in this category, probably the only money you'll ever make besides rent is when you purchased it and made a good deal, because they're not going to go up in value like they do in places like Santa Barbara, down here where we're talking the big deals that go up in value. So they have to be purchased right in the first place to even show any problem besides rent. Okay? Joint venture only, lease to own only, 1-year term. Anybody guess why we want to go 1-year term? Any guesses?
Does it have to do with taxes?
Well, there is some advantages to getting into a property for a year and not selling within the first year. The real reason is life happens. Now imagine you got to deal with somebody for 5 years and you're expecting some kind of return and something to happen good, and there's a divorce or an accident or health or a job relocation or something. You give somebody 5 years, a lot happens in 5 years. So we don't want life to happen in 5 years. For us, for the investor, or for the person that's in the property. Here's why I didn't like lease to own, okay? I'm not going to go there and do that thing because there's no integrity there. And what I saw, especially when I did it 10 years ago, I had somebody, sign up, gave me $2,000 or $3,000, whatever. He and his girlfriend split up in a year or whatever. They left. He walked away from his deposit. And I went, well, these people are right. Most people don't follow through on the lease to own and they lose their money. And some people specifically get people in there with the intention of them losing their deposit because they never really want to sell them the house in the first place. There's no integrity in that as far as I'm concerned, so I just kind of stayed away from it. Well, it wasn't until Paul Fink said, Dan, you really got to automate and delegate. And I went, okay, so how do I go back besides just what we think of automate, delegate, and change this whole model to where it isn't really that of standard rentals? Because in standard rental properties, the biggest place you can lose money is in the turnover. As soon as it turns over, you got to go in there and slap in $10,000 or $8,000 or $5,000 worth of cleanup, you got a problem, okay? That's a big problem. There's another problem, and that is management. A lot of people don't, or wonder why their rental properties aren't making money, and don't realize that the management companies can be as bad, if not worse, than tenants whose real intention was just to squat, trash, and move on. Okay? Management companies, the 10% that they make, that's not enough for their business to keep them going. They have got to turn that property over. They've got to do the repairs. They have got to make money in that process, or they go broke. If they want to do that, guess how they're going to treat the tenants? They want you to move. Are they going to treat you like gold? Don't take it personally. They want you out of it. They want to turn it over. It works for the management company, but it doesn't work for the tenant, and it doesn't work for the investor. They both get ripped off. Okay? So as I thought about Paul's automate delegate, I went, something's not right here. What if the tenants were responsible for all repairs? And at least tell them they are. That's a big chunk that the investor is no longer going to have to pay. Okay? The investor's got to be responsible for taxes and insurance. They don't have to be. Sometimes they're not, but if I'm doing it, I would. You want to make sure that the insurance is paid. You want to make sure the taxes are paid. And I don't want to load so much debt up on a tenant that they can't even afford to buy the place. It's tough enough because they're already paying close to the going rate on rent, plus they're going to have to pay that deposit. Let's talk about this down here for a minute. NHB, lease to own. Well, if it was wholesaling in the beginning, well, we just wholesale something to somebody. How do you do a lease to own wholesale? We had Clint Coons come here from Anderson Accounting, Anderson Advisors, specifically to tell us about doing wholesaling in California if you don't have a license as a realtor or a broker. Because if you do something that looks and smells like a commission, and you're not licensed, you go to jail. You know, can you do it and not go to jail? Yeah, I've done it and not go to jail. Because ignorance is no excuse for the law. Nobody ever knocked at my door, didn't get in trouble. But yeah, I was truly ignorant when I did it. Okay? People do it all the time. There's nobody looking at them, and when they finally do, then you're in trouble. How do you get around wholesaling in California and make it legal? Well, Clint came in and showed us. He says you do a trust agreement. So now you're not taking a commission, you're actually getting a capital gain because you buy low, you sell high through a trust agreement, you get a capital gain, and it's not a commission. And everybody thought, well, okay. And then I popped up and said, okay, now here's why I really asked you to come and speak here. Can you do a trust agreement